Hey, listen. Don't take this for anything sweet, you understand? Because our goal is to win our league, correct? Because we already know who we want to see, who we want to see right here. I won't put it out here tonight, but we already know what the goal is, correct?
Back another week, another win in the books. We had some, again, weather issues peeking their head around, had to move some games around. Battlefield was here Thursday night, came out with a 34-7 win. I think a lot of people took notice of that in the area. They weren't expecting that score in that game. Take me through that game a little bit.
Well, you know, early on in the game, they had the momentum. You know, they had the momentum. Actually getting ready to own in on a touchdown, which was kind of just causing us some issues. And then, as I said the week before, you know, their offense is what it is. And they're not going to change anything. You're just going to stop what they do. And because they're so disciplined, you know, that's kind of where our fits were coming from. But good old number 6, Taylor Harris. You know, he has really fell in love with that position we call the honcho. Yeah. You know, that free safety. I mean, he's Carolina's recruit as a corner. But now they're going to be able to see, you know, exactly how talented and athletic that young man is. With that forced fumble on that hit, that put everything in our favor, momentum-wise. And then we were able to get the offense back out on the field and pop a score early. Yeah. 7-0, halftime. And we had told them to, you know, even at that point that the team was very good. Yeah. You know, we're going to have to really step up and do things the way we want to do things. And then you get the final score.
But the weather ended up holding up for you?
Weather actually was great.
And it came out way better in your favor. Yes, you know, not the rain that was expected, things like that. Again, you guys have to move things around. You know, you still got the grass field.
I mean, that was a big concern for us. Yeah. I mean, I had worked on the field all week. Actually, one of the coaches here, longtime coach here, Coach Brian Bonaquisti, is a retired teacher now from Woodbridge High School. He's coached a lot of football here. He's been a blessing to us in terms of being able to come out and help me facilitate the things that we need to do to have the field prepped. So we had painted it early on between Monday and Tuesday. You know, and there was one point in time we were trying to look at moving the game because just didn't nobody know how the storm was going to come.
Right.
But the field was, you know, still a little moist, just from the dampness that we had had previously. Not that I went out and watered it, you know, which seems to be a trend in the football talk around here. You know, Coach Wortham said old school. He goes out there and waters his field, which I do not.
You do not want to be slowing down your players.
How about that, right? How about that? But the key is, you know, the kids have adopted the field issues, and they've named their field the Swamp. You know, just based off last year's playoff run, they've adapted to the field conditions, and they feel that they can play in them. So they were, you know, kind of bugging at us, saying, "No, don't move the game. You know, rain or shine, you know, coach, we want to play here." And, you know, they tell the AD, "Mr. Washington, we want to play here. We don't want to play." Even though we did, you know, kind of look at some other venues and some other turf locations, it just worked out for us to be able to play here.
Look, if your team can play in that Mount Vernon playoff game last year, they can play anywhere.
It was cold, wasn't it?
It was cold, and that field was, I mean,
wet and icy.
Those sidelines were rough last year.
It was.
Get these guys some turf.
It's on the way. The project's complete. They're ready to get it in. It's on the way, and they're going to start the project in January. So we're real excited.
Beautiful.
We're real excited about the county and what they're doing for Woodbridge High School.
Now, are you getting is it just going to be the game field, or are you getting anything else with that?
Well, apparently it's going to be a stadium renovation.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a project. They've got some other ideas and things that they would like to do here in the stadium to accommodate the people.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing. I mean, we all are happy about it. We're all excited about it. Yeah. You know, it kind of makes things hard in the office when you got to move things around in the spring, but they've got everything in motion. They're prepared to start in January, and we just say thank you to the county. Yeah. You know, for stepping up for us here at Woodbridge High School, and they're going to take care of Stonewall Jackson High School too. Good. So that's a good thing.
Stonewall could use it too, and it's another great place. Look, Stonewall gets great talent in there all the time.
Yes, they do.
Taking care of those guys should be a priority too.
Yes.
I think with your stadium, and I was just talking about Fairfax's stadium last week. There are two venues that people really should get out to a game to see, because I think they're unique. Just the way the stadiums are built into the land and everything, I think they're great places to watch a game. When you come down the hill and you got the field in front of you, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It is, and it can pack some people too. So, you know, we saw that in the championship last year, and I actually was looking through some photos this morning and just saw a caption of the stadium from above with all the folks that were here for the regional championship last year. Man, I love that photo. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, since we're on the stadium, I gotta tell you, your announcer, your game announcer is the best in the business.
That's Coach Adams.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's our special ops director here. He takes care of the guys behind the scene things for us as coaches, and one of the things he does too is the announcer for the school. Yeah. Yeah, he's got some good wit with him, man. He knows how to put it out there.
He does.
You know, he knows how to make it exciting and get the crowd pumped up, you know.
Yeah. Well,
that's important.
And it ain't hard to get your crowd pumped up. They're ready to go. When that 3-go loco chant starts going, they get it. That cracks me up.
I don't know if you got a chance to see his what's those image things they call? You get the big body image, and he'd been waiting on it all week. He ordered it. And gave it to the student section so they can hold it up.
Big head?
Yeah, the big head, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. So he talked about last week. Man, my big head coming in the mail. I need to get home and get my big head, because, you know, the student section, they asking for it. So, yeah, our student section is great. He's great. Everybody's great. We just love the place, man.
It's beautiful. Well, you got Forest Park coming up this week. You played them a lot. You know, another Prince William County team. You're the only undefeated team in Prince William County right now. Have you had a chance to look at Forest Park and what they kind of present on the field?
Yeah, we looked at Forest Park. Like, once again, you know, my weekly preparation is we're gonna treat everybody like a championship team. So we're gonna prepare for them like they're the best in the world. That just kind of helps us put our study plans together. Helps us be able to put the game plans and scouting reports together for the kids, to be able to study, and then we'll start tomorrow. You know, tomorrow we'll have film session. We'll grade our game with the guys, and then we'll go into the coordinators, all three of them, special teams, offense and defense, to the game plans to get prepared for Forest Park. You know, they you know, on any given day, you know, you just don't know. So we're gonna prepare to the T.
There's a new coaching staff over there this year?
Yes.
So yes. They do some things differently than have been done in the past?
Yes, they do.
What have you seen the difference from last year to this year in them?
The coach there, he's not new to football. He's been around football for a very long time. John Romanette, he's good. He's a good coach, and he's good at what he does, and he's good at getting his kids prepared. And you know, I know they're going to be well prepared for us, and they're going to be, you know, up and raving and trying to get a win. Yeah. You know, and like I said, you know, any given day, you just don't know. So I just want to make sure on our end we're focused this week. Hopefully we can get some good weather this week, maybe, to be able to get outside and get some things done. I think too, you know, adding to that, I just think some of the rest that we've been able to get has kind of helped us too. Yeah. You know, recovery is important.
Absolutely.
But even in every detail that we can get to prepare, we try to do it sufficiently. You know, even if we're indoors. But I think the additive too has just been the rest.
Yeah. Go off a little bit now.
Yeah, settle down.
So Coach, we've talked, you know, you've been around for a long time in the area coaching football. I was thinking about this the other day. When you watch Saturday college football now, you're starting to see a lot more players from this area, from Northern Virginia, on college teams all over the place. I saw five or six yesterday just in about a half hour just flipping through games. What is the, you know, it didn't used to be like that. You couldn't find guys. There was very few guys that you found from Northern Virginia.
You're right.
What have you seen in the difference in recruiting and stuff like that over the years?
Well, you know, when I speak to college coaches now in regards to players from Northern Virginia, Virginia has become a huge mecca of recruiting now, just based off the athletes probably over in the last 10 years that have been produced in Virginia. Would be Fairfax, Prince William County, 757 Beach area, Norfolk. It just has become evolved to where it's a big state for recruiting now. Yeah. And you actually have newer programs, not many newer programs, but different faces in regards to college football now that come to Virginia to recruit. You know, such as, you know, Oregon called me last week. Me reaching back out to them, speaking to Ryan Bartow about James Gillespie. You know, so Oregon seems to be a big fan of his now as a young sophomore D-tackle that could be a part of their recruiting system here for the next couple of years because they have a D-tackle need. You know, Alabama cracked the whip a couple years ago with Deshaun Hand, and then there's 2 or 3 kids from Northern Virginia that are still there in the program. Right. So it definitely is, you know, becoming a big mecca of recruiting. Kyrie Campbell, you know, at the University of Florida, Mike Majetta, Indiana. You know, and the list just goes even further. Those are just guys that I know, you know, from Prince William County that are playing college football right now. You know, and then like Sacred Heart, you know, sitting down talking to Sacred Heart coaches. They're like, yo, we've just always heard about the good talent in Virginia. You know, last year they just had enough coaches to expand their recruiting in the office to be able to get someone here to Virginia to see what's going on. You know, and then they walk these walls here at Woodbridge High School and they take 3, which is huge. Right. And we're happy about that. And then you got your Vanderbilts that have, you know, shown up to Prince William County, but Owen Burks, you know, from South County, you know, he's a guy that made that pathway for Virginia, you know, to get on a map with a staff like Vanderbilt. So, you know, and then it just continues to go, you know, go on and on, which is great because it's giving kids opportunities. But then again, you know, some folks have mottos here that we'd like the good to stay home. Right. But when you don't offer the good, there's a concern, you know. And I look at all my Virginia colleges in terms of, you know, and this is old for me too because, I mean, when I was here in 07 and 06, you know, guys like Naeem Outler, Austin Brown, Demetrius Qualls. Those are 3 of the best football players in the country. And all 3 of them end up at Miami of Ohio, which there's no, you know, ODU didn't have football, man. But then you have, you know, JMU, you know, Virginia Tech, and those guys are homegrown. You know, we want to see more. You know, I know here in Woodbridge, I'd like to see more of my Woodbridge kids, you know, kind of had that opportunity to play at home because some of them do want to play close to home. And I mean, how close can you get? Right. You know, between Maryland University, who has offered guys here in our building, you know, you got Old Dominion, which has offered guys in our building. You know, we have 1 player here right now, just 1 out of 6 guys that have offers that only has 1 Virginia Tech offer. And I'm not knocking anything anybody does. Everybody's recruiting style is different. You know, as head coaches, and as high school coaches, period, we all have come to understand that. But when you got a guy that plays in Virginia and he's got 12 offers, and not one offer from Virginia, you know, you just kind of put some question marks in your head and say, oh, what's going on here? You know, but that's why those guys venture out. That's why we have all these guys at some of these other great places. You know, because those college coaches, I mean, North Carolina, people talk about UNC having the pipeline here at Woodbridge, you know, because they've built a good relationship with me, with the staff, with myself, you know, but they're interested. Yeah. That's the key. They're interested in kids that we have here. So these guys take those opportunities when these college coaches are able to, and I haven't had anyone do anything outside of the realm of what they're supposed to do NCAA-wise. But when they have those opportunities to reach out to these kids, they do it well. And these are all these out-of-state colleges. They build the relationships. Yeah. You know, they want to get to know the kids before these kids have to make their decisions. You know, I know some of these kids want to play, you know, at some of the places in Virginia. So, but it's different for everybody.
Yeah. I know people talk about it all the time. They put it on the players where more players need to stay in Virginia. But I know watching teams like UVA, I don't see UVA offering anybody here in the area very much. I know Lamont Atkins is from Lake Braddock is there right now. But there's not many guys from coaches in Virginia colleges need to do a better job of recruiting in Northern Virginia. That's all I'm saying. But, Tech's done a pretty good job recently. But I think some of the Virginia colleges need to step up and start giving these guys some more love because they're going somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, you know, right now, you know, we feel that Tavon Matthews is one of the best linemen in the country. Yeah, it's a blessing for me. I've gotten to know him. I'm his coach now. I've gotten to know him, but he's probably by far, as long as I've been coaching, one of the best offensive linemen that I've ever been around. Yeah. We've nicknamed him the technician here because he has a passion for the craft, and he's developed it as a young guy. But you know, he's very close to getting some real nice offers. But I always go back to those guys to just remind them, you haven't offered him yet, but I really think you should because he's going to get an offer. He's going to play Division I football.
Yes, he is.
You know, and then our list is long. You know, Taylor Harris. I mean, Taylor Harris has a University of Virginia offer. That's the only offer in Virginia he has. You know, but once again, Scotty Moe and his staff at East Carolina, they've done a great job when they are allowed to build that relationship. Yeah. You know, build that relationship. And I credit all those guys that do, because I think that makes a difference for the player and their family to really, you know, make sure that they're going to make the right decisions. See, I hold college coaches accountable. That if you tell me something, my expectation is that you're going to do what you say you're going to do for our guy. You know, having to make a decision on where he's going to live and sleep for the next 4 to 5 years. And I have some great relationships with some great college coaches. Yeah. And I commend them all for all the work that they do. It's just that our guys are going to, all the kids in Northern Virginia, they're going to go somewhere. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. That's all I can say.
Well, like I said, just watching yesterday, it was like a who's. I mean, I saw Ricky Slater at Penn State, Brian Cobbs at Maryland. The kicker for UVA is from Westfield. Who else did I see out there? So, Army's loaded with Westfield guys.
Yeah. And I watched Kyrie Campbell play last night. Yeah. I'm happy as I'll get out. You know, and he had a lot of offers. But that's just my joy comes from just seeing these guys get opportunities. I mean, just last week we were watching Kevin Pepper, you know, who moved here, transferred here, played here, and got a scholarship out of Woodbridge. We just watched him last week making sacks on television up at Sacred Heart. You know, that's just where all the joy for me comes at, just watching these kids have these opportunities, you know. Would I love to see for more of them be able to have opportunities in Virginia? Yeah, I mean, it's like if George Mason ever thought of getting football and starting out in 1AA and then being able to financially go to the next level, George Mason could truthfully build a powerhouse
quickly.
College football program, very quick, from the kids here in this area. Right outside their door with the first school across the street. That would be Robinson, because they got good athletes too, you know. So it's interesting, but you know, at that level, it's a job as well, you know.
Well, you talked about Tavon a little bit. A lot of people look at offensive linemen and all they want to see is size.
Yep.
Now, Tavon's got plenty of size.
Yes, he does.
But his footwork and his hands are tremendous.
Absolutely.
His footwork and his hand, the way he works with guys, it's a great thing to watch. How does somebody develop? Like, how does he develop that? How do you work on that? I mean, it's not all natural.
No. I credit people who he was with before he came to us. I give a lot of credit to some of the people that have had their hands on him early. But I know he's a guy that looks for enhancements. You know, I know there's one of the athletic organizations he works with, and he's been with them for a while outside of football. I think those folks have had a tremendous impact on him. You know, pretty much what we do is we've geared him now to work within the things that our offensive coordinator and our offensive line coach expect, you know, for him to be able to do within our system. You know, what's interesting about Tavon is I was on the phone with a couple college coaches Friday, and you know, and these are some of the places that like him, have him legitimately on the board, but still hanging on the wing of a prayer that this 6'5" guy is going to show up and commit. Well, in this 19 class across the country, those guys aren't there. So then who do you look at then is what I ask the coaches, or what do you bounce back to? Well, we bounce back to the best player. Okay, well, for me, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. You know, it's a no-brainer that he is the best player. That's going to be that guy on the board. So everybody knows that. But I'm telling the coach on Friday, I don't care where you look. Yeah. We're getting ready to go into 19, and Zoom graduation is going to be here. Yeah. You ain't finding that guy in this class nowhere. There's a few, but not a lot. So spots are being held, and you know, things are in the shuffle. But you know, we're very encouraged that that young man is going to get what's due to him. Yeah. Very good player.
Well, we had a chance a little bit ago sit down with one of the beneficiaries of Tavon's work, and that was Lamonte James.
Yeah.
I say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. He's my favorite player right now to watch in the area.
Yeah.
Check it out. My favorite player in the area to watch right now, this man runs like he's a man on a mission. Y'all wearing the uniforms out the other night, a little new look for everybody. What'd you think about the helmets and stuff when you came out?
Well, I was shocked because I didn't expect him doing that, you know, but it was a good combination.
You could say that. Have you all tried to get Coach D to wear these again?
Yes. I don't know if he's going to last, but I hope he let us wear that jump. Yeah. Not the same decals, it's different.
You like the gray too?
Yeah, the gray. We have to wait till the new uniforms. Can't wait to wear them jumps.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
I'm gonna say all black.
Yeah?
All black, yeah.
Now, I like the green. I like the green one you got on. Y'all got the best combinations out there. Y'all like the Oregon of Northern Virginia. Another big game that you had this past week at Battlefield. You guys won 34-7, but you run. I mean, they call you the train. They do it for a reason. You don't mind running over people.
Yeah, try to run through people's faces. Yeah.
There you go. Little beast mode action.
Yeah, little Marshawn. Yeah. But I really look up to Zeke. That's my favorite running back. Try to be like him a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you run? You run a little bit like a linebacker when you carry the ball. You don't mind taking the contact.
Yeah. I really don't like. I'm not gonna say nothing too much on the show. Defense is okay. I like defense. Yeah.
But you like carrying the ball.
Yeah, I like carrying the ball.
All right. Well, you got some speed to you too. You can pull away from everybody at the same time.
Yeah, I worked this off season on my speed with Lil G, the bands and everything.
Well, how much? I talked to Coach G about it before. He tells me he watches that Westfield game every Sunday. How much does that motivate you to going into the off season to get faster, to get stronger, to do all that stuff?
I look at the Westfield game every day, and we just go back and forth. Hopefully we get back to that. Hopefully they come to us this year. And
before the game, who's the most hyped person before the game?
Antavius, the quarterback. We've been playing on the same football team for like 6-7 years, so we got that good communication and everything. We've been doing this since we was little, so hopefully we get us a ring. The whole team a ring. Me and Tay.
Your offensive line.
We probably got the best offensive line in the nation.
See, I didn't have to go there. I was about to say your offensive line makes fun to run behind.
Without the offensive line, I wouldn't be able to be doing all the stuff I can do right now.
Yeah. As long as they create a hole, you don't care.
Yeah, I like to run on that left side because we got 2 big guys on that left side. They both good players.
Yeah. You all get up pretty big in a lot of games. When coach comes and tries to tell you it's time to come out.
Lil G blew me the first game. He told me to get out. I was so mad. I was like, man, I didn't want to get out. I was trying to score like at least 8 touchdowns.
Yeah. What'd you have in that first game?
I had 7 carries. I had 183.
7 carries, 183, 3 touchdowns, and 1 receiving. And the 1 receiving wasn't a short one.
No,
you took that 50, pretty far too.
50 yards.
Anybody who hasn't seen this man run, you better check out the tape because he's the most exciting player to watch in the area right now. So, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you on the field soon.
Thank you.
Telling you, he's killing people out there. Now, that's a man of few words, but he ain't a man of few yards. That 22 is running all over the place on the field.
22 real deal. Yeah. He puts the work in, and he has. And like I said, even reverting back to what we talked about when we first discussed him. You know, when we first talked about him, you know, he was determined this year to, you know, if I didn't have starters and I had guys who had roles, that he wanted that major role in terms of that backfield and still holding it down for us, you know, defensively. When Taylor Harris hit the quarterback, he was one to scoop the fumble up to get us the ball back. Yeah. So he's doing good things all the way around. You know, we just gonna push him to work hard in his academics and everything with all our guys. Yeah. We start study hall tomorrow. And then, so we're gonna put all our grade monitoring progress in motion to track our guys and make sure that they stay academically in tune the entire school year.
Well, I mean, even going back to last year, we talked, you know, Deshaun, you know, he set an example for not only the athletics but the academic part.
Yes, he did.
What do you have in place? How do you work with the teachers, counselors, things like that to get your guys in their academics?
Well, I actually have two people on my staff, Ms. Annie Darwish and Ms. Tasha Hill. Coach Hill is actually for me the first time having is, you know, I used to assign study hall to a coach, but we hired Miss Tasha Hill, who we call Coach Hill. We hired her this year to run our study hall program. And she's come in with a unique style. So it's like having another classroom teacher in the afternoon because she no nonsense. Yeah. You know, she's gonna make them do the right things. You know, she's changing a lot of rules and policies. You know, no electronics. You got a certain time to be in. You got a certain time to sign in. Yeah. She's going to check their grades right there, hands on with them. You know, so ain't no slicking about, I think I might have this grade or that grade. She is going to coordinate with Mrs. Darwish, which Ms. Darwish is in our building full time, and she's more of our advisor. So Ms. Darwish will be the one to handle the in-between with the parents, making sure the parents are aware that there may be some grade deficiencies or issues, if any come up. Set the parent conferences, set the tutorials, if the guys need tutorial, and just kind of manage it over the top. Yeah. So we got someone right there at the first layer, and we got someone over the top to make sure our guys are very successful. I mean, one of the things for me is, you know, I want to be able to, you know, compete with the other sports in regards to students and academics, in terms of making sure that, you know, the students here in the football program at Woodbridge High School are just as well competing academically for a good GPA like all the other students in all the other sports, as well as just the regular student body. You know, because it's always been a goal for me to have a program that across the board has a high GPA. Yeah. And then that makes everything else easy for me. in terms of the recruiting. You know, because if I can lay a transcript on the table for a college coach, for a guy who got little talent, you know, I believe I can make that opportunity work for that particular student. But then if you got, you know, I got the guys like Jerkins, you know, who has all the talent, but had the package too, you know. Shabuzi the same way, you know, at Liberty. You know, Tavion Brooks the same way at Hampton University. It ain't easy to get into Hampton University. You got to be smart to get in all those places. Those guys at Sacred Heart, you know, so all those guys, you know, Keith Thompson at Gannon, you know, all those guys had to have good GPAs to get into those schools, you know, because even though you have the qualifying GPA, you know, the admissions department still want to know how are you overall as a student. You know, a lot of people don't know that. You know, they're just looking at a one-sided GPA where you gotta have a couple of things that work for you.
Well, no, I think it's important to let players know. A lot of people think they got D1 talent, but they don't think about having D1 grades.
That's the only. I mean, I've learned that. That goes all the way back to me even learning how to do this recruiting thing from Larry Johnson. You know, I give him big praises because he's taught me a lot. You know, as a young coach, working with him. You know, and just having a player that's got a GPA, if the kids would really buy into that, just as much as you put into what you do on the field, if you put into your books, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Because anybody and everybody's going to want to talk to a young man who's got their grades in order. That's the most easiest part of a guy who is looking for a scholarship to know, to have that knowledge that I get my book straight, 3.0 or better, it's not going to be a whole lot of no's in the fold. It's going to be we want you. It's going to be we want you, and that's how it's going to be.
There you go. Well, Coach, good luck this week. Forest Park, we'll see you next week. I saw again what you cooking up. We got to get that going.
Yeah, that was that storm dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought about you while I was preparing it too. That's why I put you on the tag.
All I saw was those shrimp at first. That was the first thing I saw. I said, "Hold up, man, hold up." That's why I had to tell you. We got to work this out. We got to do this on Sunday.
We're gonna get you. Hey, we do the show at the house. You know, we can do the show at the house.
We can do that
on the deck, right there where that grill is blazing. I told you I'm gonna take care of you.
We can do that.
Make sure my man show up too, cause I'm gonna feed him too.
You know, he's mad. He's mad. I'm here right now. I said, my son always said I can't take him anywhere else because he lets everybody know. No. My favorite team is the Vikings.
Okay.
He's a trip, man. He's a trip.
Okay.
He wears a jersey around the house too. Trip.
That's what's up, man. We get him out here.
We'll do it.
Okay, great.
He thinks he's coming to high school here too, so I'm gonna have to move in the area.
Yeah, you will.
But we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, listen, don't take this for anything sweet, you understand? Because our goal is to win our league, correct? Because we already know who we want to see, who we want to see right here. I won't put it out here tonight, but we already know what the goal is, correct?